Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a video for you about 5 things I hate in Call of Duty Warzone. Believe it or not, this video isn't actually intended to be wildly negative or hateful or just take a dump on the game because I really like Warzone. It's one of my favorite COD products of this decade and basically the only game I'm playing at the moment outside of Raid Shadow Legends and Teamfight Tactics, and those are on mobile. I play it so much that the flaws that I'm about to talk about today become very noticeable over time and start hampering my experience. So take this video criticism as coming from a place of love, because if I didn't love Warzone as much as I do, I wouldn't care about what's going on in the game. If the Warzone was mediocre, if I wasn't interested in it, I wouldn't care about any patch, I wouldn't care about any balance, and I wouldn't want anything changed. I would just be like, meh, I'll play it, whatever. But I do care, so these things are meaningful to me. Also, today's video is going to have a lot of swearing in it, at least by my standards, because I lack the vocabulary to properly describe my anger sometimes, and sometimes the swear words just do a better job. So let's start off with number 1 today. I fucking hate RPGs and C4s in Warzone. Don't get me wrong, I use them all the time because they're very meta now and you kind of have to use them to keep up and be competitive in fights, but they're broken in 2 different fundamental ways. The C4 one-taps vehicles like crazy, and the RPG takes them down to almost no health, so the next couple of shots from your regular gun will probably explode them, and this seems like a good idea so that you don't have a vehicle-dominant meta and so that the big trucks don't ruin the game, but the problem is that you don't even have to be close with the RPG or C4 to get kills. It's like they programmed it, if you hit anywhere in this range, it deals the same flat amount of damage. I've had C4 miss the car, enemy C4 miss the car that I'm throwing it at by like 10 meters. I've made really bad C4 throws at cars and bad shots with RPGs, and they still hit and blow up and kill people, and I still get hit by missiles that generally miss me. RPGs also, in my opinion, fly too straight in this game. They're like sniper rifles. You could just fucking quickscope people with them. They're very easy to aim with. These things need some more wobble, some more aiming instability, some more wildly arcing paths or something. Just being able to snipe with them 300 meters out is total nonsense. And I also think that holding 6 of them is quite a lot too, especially if it's a full team of RPG boys that had one of those munitions drop, because they'll just spam you into the ground. The C4 and RPG will down you too, which really sucks ass, unless you have RPG, in which case you can just eat them like they're nothing, which is also very confusing. I lost a game recently where the last guy on the enemy team took a C4 to the face and then 2 point-blank RPGs before he went down, and we lost the one, I actually think, in this video somewhere, where our guy was on the roof looking at 2 people in the tiny little part of the center circle, RPG'd them and start shooting them, but they had EOD, so they took almost no damage from the C4 RPG or explosive or whatever it was that hit them. Now, I get that EOD should be a useful perk, it should be powerful, it should protect you from getting insta-blown up, but right now, when you're playing, it basically works like this. No EOD? Well, you get fucked if anybody can hit the broadside of a barn with either of these weapons. The C4 gets anywhere near you, that armor's gone. The RPG gets anywhere near you, you're fucked and you're on your way to the gulag. But if you are running EOD, it's like, huh, what's that? A little peasant explosion? Let me dust that off. It didn't even crack my armor. I'm ready for combat. It's so extremely strong, it fucks up the meta in this game in ways that I don't like and leads to inconsistency in combat. If the RPGs and C4s are going to be that damn powerful, then EOD shouldn't completely negate them to the point where they feel like wet paper towel slapping people. Because I think in my head, like, I'll shoot somebody with an RPG and I'll see the EOD symbol and I'll say, okay, he didn't die because he had EOD, but he's probably hurting a lot, so now would be a good time to push in and fight them, and I do that and I get completely fucked because they didn't take hardly any damage at all, and it just doesn't make much sense to me. Number 2 today is perhaps the most important for me, and that's that shield turrets are the worst thing in Warzone. Just take a look at a clip of my last attempt to actually use one.
There's gonna be more people coming up from down here, I guarantee it. Careful. Unless there was people riding our ridge behind us. Need to be careful with that as well.
Gas is closing in.
I think they just...
God damn you, game!
Parachuter.
Yeah, he's shot down one.
Trying the parachuter.
Well, I shot. What?
This way.
I need to pick it. Actually, I'm going to self-revive. You guys just keep fighting. And this clip went much better than normal. The shield turret is slow as fuck to do anything with. When you pull it out, you move it at like 5% speed because it weighs 300 pounds. It's like carrying an entire ammunition plant on your shoulders. And speaking of planting, it plants slow as fuck too, and only on very specific surfaces. I mean, it doesn't plant on more surfaces than it does, and I feel like in order to put this thing down, I need to pause the game and call one of those land inspectors to come out and hit the ground with their little laser and their little gun and measure like the elevation difference and just make sure that it's safe to plant, because it's going to take me all day to find a spot. Then the getting into and out of animation for the shield turret is bugged in some kind of way. I've had at least half a dozen times where I actually planted it right, and then I go to press the button to get in it, and it does fuck all. I just like, come on, hit the button, get in. And it's like, nah, I don't feel like it. So then I get mad and I'm panicked and I'm exposed and I like start spamming the button, which gets me into it. And then since I've hit it too many times, quickly out in an unskippable animation, so I get screwed and I get killed. Maybe I sometimes like hold the enter, I don't know, but then when I do that, my guy just stands there and like, hold enter, okay, and then I hit that and they're like, oh, now you're picking it up, tap to enter. I don't really feel like doing anything. I don't know. I don't know how to get in it. I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know how to plant it. The stupid thing shows up on the map for everyone to see, which completely defeats its purpose. It should not do that. It should be relatively stealthy so you can surprise people with it. And this thing pisses me off because I try to use it. That's perhaps my fault. I try to use it because I like to try to have some fun meta-breaking content. And I'm like, hey, maybe there's a use for this shield turret. Maybe there's a niche thing for it. It looks like it would be so good. But at the end of the day, the shield turret always just makes me feel completely cucked. It's like an absolute cock tease because I can't plant it, I can't carry it, I can't get into it, and I can't get out of it. And I think that the shield turret needs a significant quality of life rework just to be useful, or instead, Infinity Ward could trade it out for like a counter UAV. You could have a $2,500 counter UAV instead, so you can counter the UAVs that go up or just annoy people early game. But right now, the shield turret does dick all, and I just can't find a use for it. Number 3 today is that gas mask animations get me killed all the time. Just check this clip out.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do. Should've gone downstairs.
Fucking gas mask! God fucking damn it! That was it. I couldn't aim down sights because the fucking gas mask.
Oh, you got up. How did you get up?
I actually rather like the idea of the gas mask, but sometimes it's more harmful than just not having one at all. I hate that it forces me to un-aim down sights out of my guns if I'm fighting near the edge of the gas and I go too far on one side or the other. The animation will also cancel reloads, cancel aim down sights, cancel parachuting, which makes you die. It'll cancel streaks and healing and just all sorts of very, very annoying stuff. And you usually don't have a good idea when it's coming because you're fighting so close to the edge of the zone to maintain the most amount of gas mask you can. It's so very clutch and you're just toggling it on and on and on and off. And the gas mask is supposed to be your buddy in the final circle, but you have no control over it. It's supposed to save you from suffocation from the gas, but it's really more of a trap designed to get you killed during a crutch moment because you can't actually fight in the gas with the gas mask on. I'd love for the gas mask to be a manual toggle, just to like hit something on the D-pad or some key button on PC to just manually toggle this little motherfucker on and off, because right now it does its own thing at the worst times. Or maybe it can have a context-sensitive animation setting where it won't put down when you're aiming down sights, or it won't come back off when you're aiming down sights, or when you're parachuting or something. Or maybe even just show your character putting it on once and then the vignette slowly fades away, and when it cracks and breaks, that's when you take it off. I don't know. Either way, it pisses me off. It's not fun to use, and it gets me screwed in final circles all the time. Number 4 today is that Pistol Revenge Goblins really suck ass. They really do. Even though I admit to being one of them, and by Pistol Revenge Goblins, I mean it's the people that land on you with a Glock to get their stuff back. If people get buybacks late game or they escape the gulag, there's a 90% chance they are coming right back to where they were to get their stuff back. Hell, even like honestly early game, people do it all the time too. I mean, how many times have you survived a chaotic fight? You might be the last guy left on your squad. You've got a bunch of money. You're reloading your 14 bullets into your gun when you hear a couple of zip cords rip, and then you realize 3 people with Glocks just landed on your roof, which is a problem that there's 3 of them, but there's also a dozen little crappy guns scattered all around, and you have to ask yourself, is my half mag of SMG ammo and sniper rifle quickscoping skills going to be enough to survive this? And the answer is probably not, because they're going to go grab those guns and shoot you from 3 different directions. And you're probably going to be going straight to the gulag to start a new alternative relationship with Big Bear Daddy Ivan. So this is a problem to me, and I've noticed that at least early game they start respawning people from the gulag like really far away from where they died, which is a good start. It gives them temptations to go somewhere else, but it's still gonna happen. And I think that just the nature of having respawns in Warzone causes this. Like, there's no, if you're gonna have respawns, this is gonna happen, and there's not really a way to fix it. You just kind of have to deal with it. So in this case, I don't think my complaining goes anywhere. I think I'm just gonna have to get good and adapt. And then finally, number 5 today, one of the things I hate most about the Warzone is that the toxic half of the community is worse than anti-vax moms. Well, just kidding. At least most toxic COD players don't kill people, unlike anti-vax moms, which, by the way, I haven't heard very much about them, you know, during these quarantine times. I don't know where the anti-vax squad is. Why don't y'all show up and tell me how we don't need to treat this medicine and we all need to go contract it and then we'll feel better. But the toxic half of the community is pretty fucking bad. And this was a game I was playing with Pro Reborn, and it's just a fun little clip. We're kind of making fun of them. This is how I feel like the toxic part of the community behaves.
Everybody in my lobby is a fucking 4.0 KD pub star. These motherfuckers just sit on SMD and play Money 8s all day, and because Joe Seacott hates me, they put them in my lobbies because I'm the best Call of Duty player ever. They don't want me to have fun in this game that I paid for. Wah!
Everyone in this lobby is a tryhard.
Are you sure about that?
They all have money for Ghost. What a bunch of fucking sweats. I only run Ghost on every class, so I'm gonna bitch about Ghost on Reddit, where everybody will agree with me.
No, my favorite mindset. I hate this game. Let me go post on the game subreddit where all the super fans are, telling them that their game fucking sucks.
I played this game for 4,000 hours, and it sucks.
Guy up there.
Okay.
The only subreddit that I bitch on that gets like upvotes is the H1Z1 subreddit, and I go there once a month to comment on a recent post and go, dude, the game's dead, move on with your life. And every single month I get like 50 free karma because everybody's just like checks the subreddit. It's like, where's Pro's comment? It's coming.
It's not everyone, it's not all the time, but there's a lot. It's a significant number, a lot of people in this community who just live and breathe to hate COD. They live their lives in the same way that those self-flatulating zealots in the 1500s did, and these were people that would go around and whip themselves and just like tear their flesh up for constant penance for God, because these people hate Call of Duty more than they hate paying high taxes, yet they play Call of Duty 8 bajillion hours a month. It's like all they do. I think the more you hate COD, the more you play it. And I also think that in some ways this is some sort of like venting mechanism for first world people that don't have that many frustrations or real problems, and it's sort of something for a very frustrated and vulnerable part of society to work out their problems with, but it's a really fucking annoying one. Sometimes I just want to play my game and have fun, and I go check the subreddit or Twitter or some other YouTube video just to see like, hey, what's fun going on today? And it's all like, if you like Call of Duty, you should just fucking kill yourself. You're worse than a Hillary Clinton shill. And just it's so much garbage, and I just hate seeing it. I guess I've said this like a bajillion times, and I think doing so even puts me apart from the Call of Duty community because I criticize it, but it's just depressing to see. So hopefully, and it has changed a little bit with Warzone, hopefully Warzone makes it a little bit more positive, and I think that's happened because Warzone is somewhat more mainstream, so you're pulling back in big streamers and big names and just total like outside strangers and content creators and people that otherwise would have never touched COD are coming back in and bringing a more positive group and more positive message with them, but there's still that nasty layer of schmegma undercrust toxicity in this community that will probably never go away. Guys, that is all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful in this wildly negative bitch fest. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And again, all this comes from a place of love because I really like Warzone. It's fun, and if I didn't care about it, I just wouldn't care about these problems. All right, that's it for me. Drifter out.
Event. But you have to remember that the first day that would have been fine. But we're moving on to like a second day of the beta, and now it just looks like favorites.
Oh, literally... No! I just wiped it squad! What?
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 Bro!
No way.
I'm saving that.